Hi, I'm Neil Enoch and welcome to Train Talk TV, the podcast about all things railroad. This week we've just finished up at Supertrain, Canada's largest train show. We did some prep work for the show, including an app, which we'll talk about, and my daughter took some footage from the show, which we'll show you. Also, we've got Easter events coming up this weekend, trains all over the world. We'll give you some tidbits on those, and a couple of world record attempts. We're going to finish up with the Makerbot Challenge. What can you make for your train? Well, Supertrain is Canada's largest train show, held every year in the spring, usually in April. We sat down with the folks from Supertrain and mentioned we'd like to shoot the making of Supertrain as maybe a documentary, and they agreed. Well, before long, and after a couple of meetings, we ended up in charge of the social media aspects of the show, something they hadn't really looked after before. We did Facebook, we did Twitter, we did Flickr, and ultimately we did an iPhone app for the show, and even now an Android app. We're going to cover that in more detail in another show, but I did want to bring it up. The links to the app are in the show notes, and we'd appreciate anything you have to comment on those apps. In the meantime, my daughter Annika got out of the booth. I didn't. It was just too busy. So my daughter Annika got out of the booth and took a few shots and videos of what was going on. Have a look.
Locomotives, the warning system, braking system, navigation, speed, GPS, and it will stop the locomotive.
Well, it's Easter, and Easter weekend traditionally kicks off the opening season of many of the world's tourist and smaller railways. This year's no exception. If you follow our Railway Weekender, you know there are hundreds of trains running, Easter bunny trains, egg hunt trains, and wine and dinner trains for Easter for the adults, all running this weekend. Check out our Railway Weekender or our news feed for information on these great runs. Well, we've got a couple of world record attempts on the go right now. In England, Top Gear star James May raced the boys from the Miniature Wunderland Railway in Hamburg on a 9.1 actual mile HO scale track from each end towards the middle to see who could get there first. They tried this in 2009, and James's train broke down 50 yards from the start. Apparently this time Hamburg had the bad luck, and Miniature Wonderland's train broke down before it reached the end, making James the winner. Now, there's a couple things about this. It's not out yet. I don't even know if it's a Top Gear show. We've just had the press release on it. But one of the really interesting things is they used the track laying machine to lay down 9.1 miles of track. I want to know what that is. Well, the other attempt is one you've heard about before from us. The Wilmington Railroad Museum is going to attempt to run the longest model HO scale train in the world to break a record held, again, by Miniature Wunderland of Hamburg, Germany. They'll be running 1,700 cars and 34 locomotives over a 1,000-foot loop-over track. Starts at 10 a.m. this Saturday. The run itself, 1 o'clock. If you're there and we can't make it, send us some footage. Well, we'd like to welcome you to our Makerbot Challenge. We showed off the Makerbot 3D printer at the Supertrain train show, and thousands of modelers thought this is a pretty good idea. A few of them even said they could make their concepts into STL files for the machine, and we said, hey, why don't you do that, send it in, and we'll make them for you and send it back. Well, we'd like to extend that offer to you. If you have an idea that you can express as an STL file in AutoCAD, SolidWorks, or even Google SketchUp, send it along. If we think it's a good enough idea, we'll make it for you, shoot it for the show, and send it back your way. Who knows what we'll all come up with together. This episode is sponsored by Cribscapes collectible cribbage boards. These unique 3D wooden cribbage boards make excellent gifts for the train buff or aficionado in your life. You can personalize them with whatever road or railway you'd like on them, on the board, on the box, whatever you like. The newest version has a lighthouse, and you can even get a lit lighthouse option. That's www.cribscapes.com. That's it for this week. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter @TrainTalkTV. Send us your comments and ideas to info@traintalk.tv, and you can even follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/TrainTalkTV. Thanks for watching.